Hello friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Extra Gents Scents. How's it doing? I hope it's doing so well. So a little while back, I did a video on scentsplit.com actually talking about their best-selling fragrances, their 10 best sellers. Basically, the fragrances that people are sampling and or buying travel sizes of right now. Because ScentSplit is one of the biggest fragrance decanters on the whole intranets. So it gives me a good idea of what people are actually sampling, at least through a decant website before they're buying. And I was looking through ScentSplit and I noticed that they had a list, a best niche fragrances for spring list. And it got me intrigued to see what ScentSplit themselves think are the best picks for spring. And so that's what we're gonna be talking about here today. Their top 14 fragrances for spring. I'm gonna give you my opinions on those. I'll have them linked below in case you wanna check them out. So let's do it. Now, as I said, ScentSplit is a website that sells decants, they sell samples essentially, or you could use them as travel sprays. And they do have some different fragrance brands on there where you can buy full-size bottles as well. And I've used them a bunch of times in the past. Actually, a number of fragrances that I own, niche fragrances, I did buy samples from there first. I don't always sample first, but sometimes I do. Okay, let's start talking fragrances. I've got them pulled up right here. So they don't have these fragrances listed from 1 to 14. They just have them on here, so I'm just gonna work on through. The first fragrance that they have listed is ROJA Parfums ELYSIUM Parfum Cologne. And Parfum Cologne, I absolutely can see as a great niche fragrance for springtime. A lot of people may think of that as more like a summertime fragrance, but in reality, I mean, it's a blue scent. So you can use it whenever you want. So springtime, summertime, yeah, absolutely a great choice. It's very easy to wear, a ton of citrus in there, has a great sweet sparkle off the top, a little bit of tartness from blackcurrant, a good amount of juniper, you've got vetiver in there, woody notes as it dries down, you've got florals in there, fresh spices. I mean, it's got like half of the notes in existence, it feels like, but that's every ROJA Parfum fragrance that's ever been made. So Elysium, we're starting off good. This is a good choice, I approve. Next up, we have a fragrance called Fig Porn. Fig Porn. Okay. It's from a brand called Born to Stand Out, which I have to say I've never heard of before. I'm behind the times. I have not been watching my fig porn. Shame on me. So let me look it up. Okay, so this one has fig, pear, bergamot, peony, Turkish rose, cedar musk, sandalwood, amber, vanilla. It has the no breakdown. Hugging the loved one for a long time, gently, tenderly, madly caressing him until he is used to it. Grabbing him violently like one plunders, then straddling him, digging him, then passionately breathing him, drinking him, then to embrace again, to cross and recross him until merging, until losing oneself in him, until dying in him in the middle of his arms. Isn't that purely and simply the marvel, wonderful things? Okay. So, yeah, if you want to get figgy with it, then I guess you can buy this one. It's a South Korean brand, it says, according to the internet. I have no comment. I have to smell this. Maybe I will buy a decant of fig porn so I know what the deal is. Up next, Clive Christian 1872 Masculine. Now, Clive Christian is one thing above all else, freaking expensive. Clive Christian fragrances at full retail are gonna cost you a pretty penny. 1872, for me, one of the better fragrances from Clive Christian though, especially for men. So this is another choice that I'm down with. This is nice. It has drawn over the years some faint similarities to Royal Water from Creed. So it is going to have a little bit of that, you know, clean, aromatic flair to it. A little bit of a more sophisticated, grown-up kind of fragrance. And this one actually makes total sense as a fragrance that you would want to sample beforehand because, again, it is a Clive Christian. It is pricey. At retail, a 50 ml bottle, $350. A 100 ml bottle, 550 bucks. So yeah, it is a nice fragrance though for spring. After that, Nishane Wulong Cha. And this one, yeah, another one that I think is a good choice. It's a tea-based fragrance. It is pretty easy to wear. It's got green kind of aspects to the scent. It's got a little citrus off the top. Wulong Cha is a fragrance that I like a lot. Nothing bad to say there. And actually, Nishane, as far as niche fragrance prices goes, fairly affordable. After that, they have Percival from Parfums de Marly. So Percival, you know, this one smells a bit similar to a fragrance that you may have heard of before called Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce. Of course, Percival is a higher end, much higher quality take on that fragrance style, but it still is ultimately, at the end of the day, kind of done in that style. It's got citrus, it has lavender, ambroxan, and some florals as the fragrance dries down as well. Pretty good performance for a spring, summertime type of scent. Great versatility. Percival is one of those fragrances that if you're just starting to get into niche, pretty easy to wrap your head around that one. Then we got Fragrance du Bois Oud Orange Intense. So you thought that Clive Christian was pricey. You thought that. Fragrance du Bois has entered the chat with Oud Orange Intense. 50 ml size bottle, $455. 100 ml size bottle, $769. Obviously, this fragrance was not made for the masses. And this one is another one that absolutely 100% I think you should sample before you buy, because again, price point there is hefty. And this is not a fragrance that's just springtime. You know, this is a fragrance that you would wear during fall, during winter as well. So as it, you know, heads into summer, I think this one could pack a bit too much for a lot of people to wear in springtime. It's a little feminine leaning. It is pretty strong as you would expect. It's got a lot of sweet notes in there, vanilla, fruits, coconut, oud, orange, intense. And with Fragrance du Bois, I have tried a number of them. Some of the fragrances at the price points that they go for, I think are overpriced, just for me personally. But then other ones are very, very well done. Yeah, definitely sample that first. After that, Xerjoff Torino 21. I love Torino 21. I think this stuff smells awesome. $205 for a bottle of this one, 50 ml size. And this is a perfect spring fragrance. This absolutely makes sense on this list. They came out with Torino 22, which I have not smelled yet, but Torino 21 is awesome. It's very green, very fresh, very uplifting. It's a perfect spring scent. The next one up is Reflection 45. Reflection 45. This is a pricey boy. The original Reflection, I think, is a perfect spring scent. Reflection 45, gonna be a bit heavier, and really you could wear about year round. You know, fall, winter, spring, even summer. Dial it back a little in summer, but yeah, you could wear it in summer. You got a lot of florals, resins, warm notes here, sweet notes, clean notes, fresh notes, just kind of all put together, jumbled together in this one. It's going to last approximately forever on your skin. You know, for me, I feel the original is what I would go with. Reflection 45 though, I mean, it has a lot of fans. I just think that for the type of fragrance, the OG probably would be what I'd want. Oud Lemon Mint up next from MANCERA. And yeah, this is a good choice. I like Oud Lemon Mint. MANCERAs are not too expensive at full retail. It's $180 for a 120 ml size bottle, but you know, compared to what we've had so far, that's really not that bad. The one we just talked about, Reflection 45, 100 mils of that goes for $500. So pricey stuff. Oud Lemon Mint does have good strength to it. It has that lemon in there. The oud in there is not too strong in terms of coming across like animalic or off-putting. Pretty easy to wear. Like most Manceras, lasts a long time. It's been a favorite of mine from Mancera for quite a while, so I'm on board with this. After that, You or Someone Like You. I'm even more on board with this. And this one is even more affordable, $159 for a full-size bottle at full retail. $17.99 for a 5 ml size of this one, not too expensive. It's another green fragrance. It's got an extreme amount of mint off the top that is a more realistic mint, been compared to like a mojito, like a muddled mint beverage for adults. I think it's awesome. One of my favorites. Another Mancera, Sicily, up next. This does have quite a masculine lean. Yeah, all of these are men's fragrances, really. Or mainly men's fragrances, or unisex leaning masculine, I should say. So Sicily is a Mancera that does get a good amount of love, and it makes sense. You know, it's a little different from a lot of Mancera fragrances. Doesn't have that, that oudiness that you can find across Mancera and Montal fragrances, Montal being a sister brand of Mancera. A lot of fruits in this one, a lot of citrus, peach, pineapple, florals, and musk as it dries down. This one is actually a little feminine leaning, so I guess there are a couple on here that are kind of feminine leaning. And Sicily, for me, I've thought of as more of a springtime or a summertime fragrance rather than springtime fragrance, but it would work during the spring just as well. Bergamote 22 up next from Le Labo. Love Bergamote 22, always have. Good quality bergamot scent, which you would expect, it's the freaking name, but it has that right up in the front. It's such an easy wearing scent. It's got good quality to it, a nice classiness, so it gives you really nice versatility. Yeah, can't go wrong with Bergamote 22. No qualms there. Molecule 01, the next fragrance in their list. 100 ml size bottle, going for $109, so very affordable at full retail, but you would kind of expect that because Molecule 01 is, Molecule 01, excuse me, is based just around ISO-E Super / ISO Gamma Super. So some people will say that they can't really smell it very much. Other people will say, oh no, I smell it quite clearly. It's kind of a light cedar scent profile, very clean, easy to wear. A lot of people will layer it with other scents. So they'll spray Molecule on with something else to try to get a little extra push or a little more depth to a scent that maybe they think needs it. And I do think Molecule 01 has a lot of versatility and usability for many people out there. And then there are also people that will buy it and think it is the biggest waste of money of all freaking time. And I would wager, maybe I'm wrong here, but I would wager that Scent Split or anybody who is decanting that Molecule 01 probably causes them more issues than almost any other fragrance, because I am sure that they have sent that out to people and they go, what did you do? You put water in this. This is not a fragrance. I want a refund. Last, but definitely not least, is Ormonde Man from Ormonde Jayne. I love Ormonde Man. It is not as popular as most everything else on this list. I mean, maybe it's more popular than Fig Porn, but a lot of the other ones, I think, probably have reached more people than Ormonde Man. This is an awesome, gentlemanly fragrance, really nice woodiness, kind of a hemlock pine vibe going on with it. And Ormonde Man really sets this DNA that you can find across a whole mess load of Ormonde Jayne fragrances that are marketed toward men. Nice fresh spiciness to it. You know, you don't get that bubblegum sweetness or anything like that here. Just an extremely classy, versatile scent. And Ormonde Man gets 2 thumbs up from me. So there we go. Those are their top picks for spring, scentsplit.com. Again, linked in the description, as is the website. And whenever you're looking for samples, decants, etc., check Scent Split out. I think overall this is a solid list. There are a couple that I'm not as familiar with, but most all of these I'm really familiar with. And none of them really stick out as like an abomination being in here. So that's good. Other than maybe Fig Porn, I don't know about that. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, and also let me know, of those 14, which do you think is the true master of spring? I'll see you guys again another day with another video. See you later.